Today we are going to focus more on our course, which is numerical control system. So we are going to talk about the numerical control. When we said numerical control is more specific for production, manufacturing, factory. It's the control of machine that used in manufacturing. It's not controlling of the fridge, not controlling of the oven, not controlling of the fan. We are going to talk about the machines that used in the production line in the factory. So for that, we are start from chapter 1 today. I will repeat it again since last class we don't have enough time to start with this chapter. So I will start from chapter 1, introduction to numerical control. So these are the course outcome or the expected expected outcome of this course. At the end of this chapter, actually, of this chapter. So at the end of this chapter, you are expected to have knowledge about the history of numerical control, different type of numerical control. We are going to talk about numerical control in general. Then we're going to talk about how this numerical control got evolution to become the current situation or the current version of numerical control, which is CNC, DNC, and so on, until we reach to the CAD and CAM. Then we are going to explain what's the main or the basic components of CNC and the advantage, limitation of numerical control, and why we need numerical control in the field of manufacturing and so on. So these are the expected outcome of this chapter, and also there are some reference here. So actually, as I told you before, I already mentioned for you 5 reference. So you can also find other resources in the internet. These are the content of chapter 1. We are going one by one. I don't know if we can finish by today or maybe today and next week. So first is the history of numerical control technology development and how this technology started. As you know, each technology that existing in our world start, maybe 15 years, 50 years, 60 years, 100 years before, then it goes to improve and enhance. So the first time they start to invent the numerical control was in 1949, when the US Air Force asks the Institute of MIT to develop numerically controlled machine. And when we say numerically controlled machine, that means machine that we can control it by using symbol code, numbers, characters, letters. So the normal machine are operate manually. So if you have any tools at home, you use it for to cut something, to turn something, and so on. So these tools, most of the tools was used before in the industry was operating manually. That means based on the operator, based on human who is going to run these machines. Then they are looking for something which is more comfort, so more easy to control. So that means you enter some code or some letter with some character, with some numbers to the machine, so the machine can do the work exactly what you want. You want to drill, so the machine will drill. You want the machine to stop, the machine will stop. You want the machine to start, the machine will start. For example, we said A1, this character, we want this character or this letter with the number which is A and 1 to run this machine. We want A2 to stop the machine, and so on. So this is the beginning, how they think, what they want. So the Air Force asked the institute to do, which is a MIT Institute, to develop machine which can be controlled by using numbers, numerical control. Then the first prototype for numerical control machine was demonstrated in 1952. So they start to have the prototype for this machine, and they give it to the US Air Force to start to check these machines. Maybe this machine later on will be used to produce some weapons, some vehicles, I mean any type of other product. But this is what the start point. Then the numerical control machines start to develop. So I mean, since 1952 until 1980, there are many improvements have been done for this type of control system for the machine. So until reach in 1980, they start to use the computer. So at that time, I mean, until 1980, people or the existing machines were controlled by using a board like a keyboard, like keypad or keyboard attached to the machine with small display. And this display actually just you enter like your laptop now, or you have letters, you have numbers. So in that machine there is a keypad, and in the keypad you need to to key in some coding and so on, so give command to the machine to perform the task. In 1980, they start to use the computer, because at that time the computer start to be there. So they attach a computer to the machine. So this computer can perform the control on the machine by using the software. So they start to use the coding on the computer, then they transfer the code from the computer into the machine controller or machine control unit. After that, they do improvement. Actually, as you see here, the improvement in this field, in the field of numerical control, is the same improvement or development in other fields. So, for example, in the mobile, as you see in the mobile technology, so they start, for example, with the normal telephone, then they go for some type of the mobile telephone, but without, you should have the base station at home, small base station. Then they go for cellular network. Then they go for 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G by today. They keep improve the technology. The same is for numerical control. They keep improve it. So after they got the CNC, which is the use the computer, even though CNC is still existing until today, but also they do a lot of enhancement for this technology to make it more precise, more efficient, and more easy to use, more user friendly, and more automation will be used. Okay, so in 1990 they start to use some type of numerical control. They call it direct or distributive numerical control. So instead of using one computer to control one machine, they start to do networking. So in the networking here, that means you have multiple machines and you connect this multiple machine into one server. So you can perform control on the multiple NC machines together from one server. Or you have multiple machine with a computer, you connect all computers together, and all the computer connected to the one server, so the server can perform distributive control. So you send the command from the server and tell the computer of each NC machine. So each NC machine or each computer at NC machine will perform the control on the machine that we are going to control. And when we say machine here, we mean the machine that used in manufacturing for example, for drilling, turning, tuning, milling, and so on. So all these machines that use are controlled by using computer right now. Okay, then in 1994, the combination of computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, and CNC, which is computer numerical control, exists. So they start to combine. Instead of have only computer to control the machine, they start to have something called computer-aided design. So the developer or the designer in the factory or the designer in the industry, they start to design or sketch their product. So like using 2D drawings or 3D drawings. So then these drawings will be converted into into coding to be sent to the CNC machines. So you draw the product in your computer, you send it to the machine will produce the same product that you draw. You draw it in 2D, in 3D, and so on, then it will be converted by using a coding to be understandable by the machines. So the machine will produce the product that you want. Like if you hear about the 3D printing. So in 3D printing, you have your own design. You just take the design, send it to the printer will produce for you the prototype that you want. Is it like square, spherical, rectangular, whatever you design for your work. There is one hole, there is two holes, three holes, and so on. There is a wire there. So I mean, you are going to design using your computer, using some specific software for designing. I mean, like computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. Then this design later on will be converted into product. So the product will be taken from the CNC machine. In 2000, in the beginning of 2000, they start to combine or integrate the CNC machine, which is computer numerical control machines, with a programmable logic controllers, which is PLC. So PLC also is one of the powerful or superior controller that used in industry. So people use the PLC to control different machine in industry. So now they start, since 2000, they start to integrate PLC with CNC. Okay, programmable logic controller, which consists from sensors, actuators, and CPUs, input interface, output interface, and so on. All these things integrated with the CNC machine, like milling machine, drilling machine, and the PLC perform controller on these CNC machines. After that, in 2010, they start to use the multi-core processor, as I told you before, because the processor or the CPU of the computer start to be developed. From like last time you heard about Pentium 1, Pentium 2, 3, 4, then they go for Citron core until reach to the core i3, core i5, core i6, i7, core i9, and so on. So always then they said generation 1, generation 2, until reach to generation 9 or generation 8 for now. All these processors are improved in terms of the speed of processing the data, in terms of the, the capacity, in terms of the number of cores. So they start after they got this evolution in the industry of computer or of microprocessor. They start to use this technology in the CNC systems. So instead of using a very old computer with the CNC, no, they have to start now multi-core processor in the CNC. So it become more faster, more accurate, more reliable, and so on. After that, now, starting from 2015, they start to talk about Internet of Things and how to control equipment by using over Internet and so on. When they talk about the controlling the normal control system that we mentioned before, how to control the light, how to control the fridge, how to control the fan, they start to talk how to control the machines at the factory. So there is one new term, they call it Industrial Internet of Things, IIoT. So this Industrial Internet of Things talk about the utilization of internet to access the CNC machines, so they can control this CNC machine over the internet regardless of the time or the place. So maybe they will run or they can run machines or factory from home, like in the situation that we see now, work from home. So most people working from home. So instead of us all people to go to the factory, you do not need to send all people. Maybe there is instead of sending 100 workers inside to work in shift and so on, maybe one worker every shift will be more than enough, because the machine already can run automatically. Also, there are a lot of robots, and this robot can perform the task instead of people. So from this graph, also from this trend, which would show how the evolution of the the numerical control is started from the original or the conventional numerical control. Then they go for CNC and DNC. Also, there's other type which is like FFS, like flexible manufacturing system, CAD, which is computer aided design, CAD and CAM combination of both CAD and CAM. So computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing, then computer integrated manufacturing, and so on. So they keep improving or developing new technologies in the field of manufacturing and how to control the machine of manufacturing, because actually the main objective is to improve the controllability of these machines, increase the productivity of the machines, increase the reliability of the system, and so on. So same here as you see, starting from NC, CNC, TNC, and CAM and CAD also at the end. Is it clear until here or not?
Clear, sir.
Okay. I want each time I ask, is it clear? Another person to answer, okay? I will check here who talk. I don't want someone to leave the class or sleep during the class. Please, I will ask you, the name is in front of me. When I call the name with ID, just answer, okay?
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, before we go for the details about numerical control, we are going to define the different type of numerical control, starting from the numerical control itself. Then we are going to talk about CNC definition and definition of direct numerical control and CAD and CAM and so on. So the numerical control or NC here, the data is sent to the machine tool. That means you have data, and this data in the form of the coding or like, as we said, it's not coding like the high-level machine, high-level programming language that like C++, Java, C, and so on. No, it is data, it's a code in form of letters, numbers, and characters only. So the data is sent to the machine tool by means of punch cards or tapes. The reader of the machine here will perform calculation or interpolation on will perform no calculation or interpolations for this code. So for example, the data, you have a very simple coding which consists from letters, numbers, and characters. Like as I told you, like N20, N50, and so on. So this code or this number will be sent to the machine using punch cards or tapes. So in the machine itself, in the control unit of the machine, there is a reader to read this code. This code will be read and understood by the machine, and the machine will perform the task which is based on the required coding. So in the code, I write the code, for example, if I said I write the code consists from 3 commands in the beginning: start the machine, perform drilling for this dimension, for this length, for this depth, and so on, then stop the machine. I put this coding on a tape or on a punch card, and I put it in the reader of the machines. So the reader of the machine here or the tape will read the code, and the machine will perform the task according to the program that I sent to the machine. So in this case, in the first type NC, we do not have any computer here, or can be done by using the controller on attached to the machine itself. And I told you, the controller is not a computer. It's just like there is a keypad, there is a small display to show, so you enter the code there manually. Then the second type, which is computer numerical control, CNC. In this case, the idea of computer numerical control is to position a computer right at the machine tool. So you have a machine for drilling, machine for milling, machine for turning, any type of manufacturing machine. You put it there, you attach to this machine one computer. So the computer here will perform the control on this machine. So you are going to write the coding by using the computer and send the code to the machine through interface between the computer and the machine. So this is the main difference between the NC and CNC. The NC, there is no computer there. You only have a control unit beside the machine, and through this control unit, you can write the code that you want, and the computer or the machine will receive the code. For the computer numerical control, you have a computer attached to the machine. You are going to write the coding by using the computer, and this coding will be sent to the NC machines and perform the task that is required by the controller. The third type, which is distributed or direct numerical control, as I told you before, the DNC here is consists of multiple. There is some form of networking here. So you do not have only one machine. You have multiple machines, maybe you have one computer or multiple computer as well. So these machines or this machine with computer will be connected in a network. So you have a server, so the server will perform the control over all these machines. This machine can be from the same type, that means all are drilling machine or are milling machine, or they may be different types. Okay, it doesn't matter is it a same type or different type, but at the end all are CNC machines. CNC machines connect together, and there is a computer or server to control all these machines together. Then the definition of computer aided design. So the computer aided design here is a system that used to define the part geometry. So when we talk about CAD, when you if you use AutoCAD before, so usually for CAD you have a layout you are going to design. I want to design like some part consists, I mean, with this length, with that depth, with that width, and so on. So you are going to define the geometry of this part, either in 2D or in 3D. So after you define these dimensions and so on, you already have the design system that you, or the design product that you want to produce, but you are not produced yet. You just have the design or drawings of this system. After that, the next step, after you have this design or drawing, you are going to convert this design or drawing into a product by using computer aided manufacturing, or CAM. So CAM here, system used to create cutter path that can be used by the machine tool. So in the CAM system here, it will convert your drawings or your design into a real product by sending the machine, I mean the code to the CNC machines, and the CNC machine will perform the task which is required, either to cutting or drilling. For that, there is one system, they call it CAD-CAM, and this is one of the most computer-aided manufacturing system. So CAD-CAM is combined both the design part and the production part. So in this case, you have a database for your design and the database for your product. So this database or the operator here, or the person who will produce or give the command to the machine to produce your product, it will perform the two stages together. First design, then convert the design into product together. It's not like the previous two systems when they work individually. Individually means you do the design, maybe you produce or you don't produce, it doesn't matter. You have the design only. But if you have CAD-CAM, that means you already have the design, and this design will be translated into a real product later on. So we start with the first type, which is the NC, or numerical control, and we are going in the details of numerical control, the component of numerical control, how the numerical control is worked, and so on. So the numerical control here, we said, is a method of automatically operating manufacturing machine based on the code, which consists of letters, numbers, and special characters that known as a program. So as a programmer, since you are, for example, from BTS program, and your degree almost has something, in the name of your degree there is computer systems. So computer system, when we talk about computer, always we talk about the coding and programs, software. So for the NC here, the coding of NC is like lower level of coding. It's not high level language of coding like they use with the normal, with the other software that you have applications in your computer. They have specific type of coding, and this type of coding only consists from letter coding and special character, letter, number, and special characters. And as we will see later on, so the code is very specific. Just consists from one letter, two numbers, one letter, one number, and so on. So it's very easy to follow. And each character already has, already the machine know what N20 means, what N50 means, and so on. Then data is sent to the machine. So the NC machine here can be programmed manually. So manually, that means you are going to use the keypad attached to the NC machines just to enter the program or the program instruction, and then the program instruction will be sent to the the program instruction will be sent to the machine control unit, as you can see here. So first you write the program, you can enter the program manually here, and the program will be sent to the machine control unit. The machine control unit represents the controller for the NC machine here. So the machine control unit will read the program or will read the instructions and translate it into action to be sent to the machine here. So this is your machine that you want to control, whatever the type of this machine. So the control unit will send the command that receive from the, that translate from the program to the machine to perform the task. So the machine, for example, can rotate, the machine can move, the machine can drill for 1 centimeter, drill for 2 centimeter, and so on. It will based on the code entered to the control unit. So the data is sent to the machine by means of either tapes, punch, or tapes reader. So there is a tape. In the tape here, they write the program on the tape, and the tape will go through the tape reader and will be translated into the specific command that required from the machine to perform. So the reader at the machine here performs calculation or interpolation. Performs no calculation or interpolation for the code, because already the program, as I told you, it just consists from these 3 letters. Either letter or numbers or specific characters.